Hello children, I am pleased to welcome you all to Maths class, and this is the fourth session for the chapter Data Handling. Before getting into the session, let us have a good thought for today. If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. I can put it in a simple way, nothing is permanent except change. We should undergo many changes to make ourselves better and better. So even this shutdown is a change, is a tremendous change in all our lives, so that we will come out with a colorful thought like butterflies. Okay children, let us be positive every day and make this session a fruitful one. Let us have a quick recap of previous sessions. What are the tools that we use to handle the data? To start with, we have mean. What is the formula for mean? Hope I think you are saying out the formula. Sum of all observations divided by number of observations. Very good, my dear children. Now, the second tool that we use to handle data is range, which is equal to largest value minus smallest value. What is mode? Very good. Mode is nothing but observation that occurs most often. I can say it simply, which repeats many times, which occurs frequently. These are the equivalent words that I can say when the word mode comes to our mind. Okay, the last tool that we have seen so far is median. The word median itself says it is something in the middle. So, we consider the middle observation as the median. Okay, my dear children, a question for you. Median can be found in two different cases. When the number of observation is odd and when the number of observation is even. When the number of observation is odd, it is easy to locate the middle observation. Okay, if it is 11 students standing in a line, I can say 5 students from the right and 5 students from the left will be separated, and I can locate the center student. It is easier to locate the middle observation when we have odd number of observations. Now what should I do if I have even number of observation? If it is 10 observations are there. What is the formula for median there? Hope you are able to recall those things. You have to find the average of middle two observations. You will be able to identify two middle observations. You have to find the average for those two observations. Hope it is clear, my dear children. Now, today we are going to see about how to present our data. When it is colorful and beautiful, we like to see things. Even you yourself will be happy to present yourself when you wear new clothes with new jewels, new shoes, isn't it? Likewise, to represent data, we have different methods. Which strikes your mind first, my dear children? Very good. You are able to recall bar graph. Then pie chart. Excellent, my dear children. So, we are going to see about graphs today. What is the first type of graph? Single bar graph. How it is defined and how it is useful? Single bar graphs are used to convey the discrete value of the item for each category shown on the opposing axis. What does it mean? This bar graph is used to give us an idea about different items. Okay, different items on the same category. For example, I can draw a bar graph for a student performance in exam in different subjects. This different subject is categorized as different category. What is the opposing axis? The scores he scored in all the subjects. That is opposing axis in this example. Hope it is clear for you, my dear children. Now the next type of bar graph we are going to see today is double bar graph. Double bar graph. This name itself gives us an idea that this bar graph is going to have two bars. Single bar graph will have single bars. Here we will have two bars like this. Are you able to see this picture? Blue and red. Okay. Now how it is useful? Double bar graphs, also called as double bar charts. It helps us to compare or present more than one kind of information or situation or events instead of just one by using bars. This helps us to compare two things. I can compare two of you in a class by having a double bar graph, or I can compare two cricket teams, and I can compare two products sale in each and every month. Okay, so it is called as double bar graph. Now we are going to see how to interpret the data, how to interpret that bar graph. What does mean by interpretation? Getting some ideas or conclusion just by viewing the graphs. Shall we start, my dear children? Are you all ready? Yes. Here, read the bar graph which shows the number of books sold by a bookstore during 5 consecutive years and answer the following question. Here, this bar represents the number of books sold. Okay. For 5 different years. What are the years they have represented here? 1989, 1990, 91, 92, 93. And each and every bar graph will have all these things like axis, name for the axis. Okay. Now let us get into the question that follows this graph. The first question is about how many books were sold in 1989, 1990, 1992. Here, my dear children, in this diagram, they have not shown the in-between lines between two units. Okay. So, you have to go in for estimated answer, something closer to it. So, number of books sold in the year 1989 is about 180. That's why they have used the word about. It is not exact 180. If you have mentioned the answer as 175, about 175, even then your answer is right. And it is estimated answer, my dear children. We don't have exact answer for this graph, because this graph don't have proper lines where it coincides. See here, one may say 180, one may say 175. Both the answers are right. So I say you have to use the word about here when you go in for rough answers. Okay, my dear children. So you can take down in your classwork note is about 180 in 1989. Similarly, in 1990, the sale is about 490. And in 1992, it is about 295. Hope you are clear how to answer a graph where we don't have an exact answer, where the lines are not clear, where they don't have lines between two measures, between 2 centimeters. Hope it is clear, my dear children. Shall we go in for the next question? The question is, in which year were about 475 books sold? And next question, the same question, about 225 books sold. Hope you are referring the graph now. I want each and every one of you to guess the answer. Now I will show you the answer. Check whether you are right. Are you ready, my dear children? Shall we look at the answer now? Yes, very good, my dear children. About 475 books were sold in 1990. About 225 books were sold in the year 1992. Okay, children, shall we go in for the next question now? In which years were fewer than 250 books sold? Again, this is the question for you, my dear children, because this is not a new thing for you. You already know how to interpret bar graph. Okay, just by looking at the graph, you will be able to answer these questions. Only thing is you should know to understand the question. Here they are asking us to find in which years. There are many years where less than 250 books are sold. It should be less than 250. These are not exact. This graph gives us only estimated answer, my dear children. Got the answer? Shall we see the answer now? Yes. Fewer than 250 books were sold in the years 1989 and 1992. Very good, my dear children. Now the fourth question for you is, can you explain how you would estimate the number of books sold in 1989? See here, my dear children. This is a creative question. You should know to answer it smartly. Okay. Very simple thing. They can ask the same question. How would you find scale for your bar graph? Okay. This question can also be asked in other way. How will you define the scale for this bar graph? Okay. Here how is the scale divided in y-axis? Very good, my dear children. The line is divided into 10 small parts of 10 books each. So, we estimate the number of books sold in 1989 is about 180. This is my estimation. You can go in for 5 parts also. Okay, my dear children. But this will give a closer answer. So, go in for division into 10 small parts of 10 books each. Okay, my dear children. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear? Okay. Now, we are going to draw bar graphs. Here is a question for you to draw bar graph. Number of children in 6 different classes are given below. Represent the data on a bar graph. Class 5, Class 6, Class 7, Class 8, Class 9 and Class 10. This is the data they have given us. Now we have to draw bar graphs. Okay, my dear children, get ready with your graph note, scale, pencil. I don't want any one of you to have eraser with you. You should not use eraser in your graph paper. It will make the graph sheet dirty. Okay. Before plotting a point or before drawing a line, make sure you are right. Once you have drawn, you should not have confusion. Okay, that much clarity you should have while you draw graphs. Okay, my dear children, shall we start drawing the graph? Are you all ready? Okay, let us continue in next video. Thank you, children.